Greetings and salutations, friends. We are live. Had a little technical problem at the start there from having multiple windows open. I'm going to look into the live chat. I see Jasmine Emmerich here, Rick von Himmlich Spoonler. Shout out to you, Philip Blair, Harbinger of Souls, Out of Mind, Super V, Fun Cat. And we are live, folks. I wanted to mention that earlier. I realized that I hadn't added any chat moderators. So if you'd like to be a chat moderator, just say something in the live chat, and I can flip over to the YouTube live chat and make you a live chat moderator. Everybody gets a wrench here, folks. So tonight, I thought I could talk about one of my favorite creepy stories, and that is the story of the Dybbuk box. I first heard this story really when it first started breaking. I saw the original eBay auction when somebody tried to sell this mysterious ghostly box. Now, for those that don't know, a dibbuk is a term from Jewish mythology. And a dibbuk, it's from the Yiddish word, from the Hebrew verb, dybbuk, meaning adhere or cling. And a dibbuk, according to Jewish mythology, is said to be a malicious possessing spirit believed to be the dislocated soul of a dead person or a demon. It depends on what source you read. It supposedly leaves the host body once it has accomplished its goal, sometimes after being helped. Interestingly, a dybbuk is sort of the Jewish version of a possessing spirit, much like the exorcist and demons that possess souls or people in Catholic mythology, which I'm well versed in, but I hadn't heard the Jewish version of these possessive souls or spirits sort of mythology before hearing about this mysterious dybbuk box. Now, I do have to say, do I think this story is true? The jury's still out. There's not much supportive evidence other than the eyewitness testimony of the people involved with the original story. But I think it's very important to realize that the guy who came up with this story wrote a book to sell, all about his experience with this dybbuk box. This person was an antique dealer and a writer. Went to an estate sale of a woman who was purported to be a Jewish Polish immigrant and died at the age of 102. So their inner belongings is this mysterious wooden box. Some people have called it a wine box. Other people have called it a dybbuk box, or a box that would contain this mischievous, malicious, some would say, malicious spirit. Now, there's all kinds of mythology surrounding the dybbuk or dybbuks. I found mention of dybbuk as far back as the 16th century. So this is not a new story or mythology or type of spirit, let's say. It's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. There have been plays written about a dybbuk or possessing spirit. There have been, since this resurgence, this modern resurgence of the dybbuk box, there has been books, documentaries, videos, Hollywood movies. The Possession is the most famous. Now, I want to show you. First, we're going to try to do a share screen here, and we're going to show you the box. The modern story really took hold with. Let's see if I can't get this going. Okay. So there we have it. This is the dybbuk box. Um, and you know, there are some items in it. There is a Jewish prayer stone. There was some rolls of presumably human hair inside this box, a wine chalice, and a candle holder. The box has another mysterious sort of, I don't know, part of the story is that if you open this drawer down here, the front doors open at the same time. Now, people have later speculated that uh, a divine box or a box related to God, like an ark or whatever, when you open the box, sunlight must shine on all parts of the box equally. I'm not sure why that's important, but it's mentioned in the story of the Dybbuk box as some reason for why, when you open the front drawer of this box, the doors also open. Let me see if I can't. Let's go back, and I'm gonna. We have a couple of other images. It's interesting. Okay, let me get this one up on the screen. And this is the box, and it was on a special. Uh, there's a famous, let's just call him a ghost hunter, who I have absolutely no respect for. I think it's like sensationalized nonsense that he does. But he had some interaction with the box. And in that sort of documentary, it was encased in glass in a museum. After the original antique dealer and person purchased the box, had a terrible experience with it. Then he somehow gifted it to his mother, who had a stroke immediately upon opening the box, felt a cold wind blow towards her. And we're going to hear parts of that story tonight. But this is, I believe this is a recreation, not the original box that's in a museum. So, why some ghost hunter is going to do some interaction with a recreation of the real box maybe lends to the reason why I don't trust or respect that ghost hunter. Here we have another version of the box, another image. So essentially, it's a creepy old box with some strange things inside it. And here we get a better view of what was inside it. Oh, I forgot there was a dried rose. I mentioned this is a Jewish prayer stone. I'm not sure if any of my friends who speak Yiddish or Hebrew or can translate what that prayer stone, what the word on it is. That I'd like to know that. We have a chalice for wine drinking. There is the hair, and there was 2 coins, a dried rose, and this candle holder. That's what's in the box. Here we see a rear view of the box with an inscription in Jewish, which is said to be the first prayer that Jewish people learn and the last prayer that most Jewish people wish to pray before departing this earth. I would like if somebody could tell me more about that prayer and maybe translate that prayer to English so that we can get maybe a better understanding of why is this on this box that supposedly is housing a dibbuk. But friends, I thought we could get a better explanation. There's a local news reporter that was local to this man who originally came up with this story, and he did this really great report. And so I'm going to cite fair use here because this is a transformative work. We're going to be discussing the Dybbuk box and all things about it. This report was done some time ago, around the time that this person originally came out with this story, and then after having this terrible, horrible, ghostly or demonic experience with this box, sold it on eBay. Because that's what everybody does when you got a box of demons. You sell it on eBay. It's kind of crazy, but you can Google Dybbuk box eBay listing, and you can see the original listing that this person sold this Dybbuk box on eBay. And a person who owns a museum got a hold of the box. It's just a crazy part of the story. Now, friends, I'm going to go and we are going to try and hear this report from a local news reporter speaking to the original antique dealer who purchased the box at an estate sale. Also featured in this interview piece is the person who ended up with the box after the eBay auction, who owns sort of a strange museum. Let's see if we can do this.
Kevin shows us the neighborhood where he unwittingly bought the box at an estate sale. It belonged to a Jewish immigrant from Poland who died at the age of 103. The woman's granddaughter sold the box to Kevin.
She was told never to open it up, that there was something in it called a dibbuk and kesalim, which is a term that we've had kind of a hard time defining. But I guess it means fooling spirits is the best definition.
Fooling spirits.
Kind of a playful type of spirit. Getting sick of playful spirits. And some of the things that happened weren't all that pleasant. You know, they weren't things that you just laugh at.
Right after he bought the dibbuk box, Kevin took it to his shop on Burnside Street, where he refinished old furniture just like this. He dropped it off in the basement, then he left. Not long after, his assistant called him on his cell phone, incredibly upset, he says, screaming that someone was downstairs. They were swearing and they were breaking things.
I turned around and came back down to the shop, and she was in my office crying, quivering. She took off. I went to the basement, went downstairs, and every light in the basement had been broken.
Kevin tells us how minutes after giving the box to his mother as a gift, she suffered a stroke. How he'd sold it at one point and found it back in front of his Burnside shop just 3 days later.
I had a note, and the note was very, very cryptic. It said, "This has a strange darkness about it."
And how everyone in his life who'd been around the box at different times had the same dark nightmares that end the same way.
And at that point, the person that you're with morphs into this old hag. It's the only way of putting it. That's why and then beats the living crap out of you.
Within just the same day of receiving this, I've had very good health all my life, and all kinds of very intense, very sudden, and very strong health problems came towards me, to the degree that I actually thought that someone might have coated this with cyanide.
Jason Haxton owns the box now. That's not it beside him either. Just a perfect replica. The real one?
It is stored now, again, away from people, kind of in one of those quiet, dark places.
The museum director in Missouri has taken great care to understand and to solve the malevolent mystery he acquired 7 years ago.
Again, there is, I think, a source of energy that could be explained both scientifically and possibly spiritually. All these different people want access to it, and that in itself tells me there's something going on here that is somewhat amazing.
Jason has put the dibbuk box to rest for now.
For the whole time that I had this, I never wanted it near my home.
Enclosed in an ark made of acacia wood and lined with 24-karat gold, a process he learned through his research. Like Kevin, Jason admits there's something very alive about the dibbuk box, though neither is ready to call it haunted.
Okay, so there we have an original report from a local news reporter. Again, I'm going to cite fair use. We're going to be discussing this. I thought it was interesting that this museum person who ended up with the box somehow did research and decided to build an ark to encase, I suppose, the evil spirit inside the box into another box. And actually, this is the box inside the box that the museum curator created to, I suppose, suppress or entrap the dibbuk in the box. And interestingly, it's built just like the Ark of the Covenant, out of acacia wood and lined in 24-karat gold. I was not aware that you could encase a spirit somehow in acacia wood and gold. I'm not sure what his sourcing for why that works or why he did that, or if it's just a clever way to display the box. Oops, sorry about that. And we're going to go to another part of the story, which I found very odd. And I've always had a problem with this part of the story. Apparently, first the antique dealer got the box and all kinds of strange stuff started happening. And then he sold the box to a couple who returned it a few days later with a note on it, left it in front of his shop that said, "This box is evil, or it's got a dark force in it. We don't want it. You keep it." And then he gives it to his mother, because everybody that's got a box with a demon in it gives it to his mother, right? I found that part of the story strange, but it's still important and relevant, if you ask me, that his mother had a stroke, a physical stroke, and went to the hospital, the ER, and the whole thing right after she opened the box. It's another strange twist in this crazy story. I'm going to do a share screen here, and we're going to try to play that portion. Well, I'm sorry, friends. Let's try that again. We are live, and some strange things will sometimes happen. Let's try this again with the audio. I'm sorry about that, friends. Let's get back to that. Here we go. So there we are. We have the story of this gentleman's mother, who apparently opened the box, felt evil and a cold breeze coming towards her, and then instantly had a stroke. I've always had a problem with this story because if you just look at the timeline of this story, first he gets the box, all kinds of weird stuff starts happening around his shop. He feels like it's evil. He sells it to some couple. They return it saying the box is evil. We don't want it. And then he gives it to his mother. Okay. But one of the things that impressed me about that part of the story is how emotional this old woman got when she was talking about her experience with the box. It just didn't seem like acting to me. It seemed like a genuine experience. So I'm going to turn my attention to you guys in the live chat. What do you guys think of this story? I think it is a great story, but is it true? I think the jury's still out. I try to do some checking as to where the box is, and near as I can tell, the box is still being hidden away by its current owner in an acacia box lined in gold that is being used apparently to contain the spirit and the evil forces inside the box. Now, one of the other things that's so interesting to me about this story is the cultural significance, the impact that this had on the sort of paranormal world. If you go to YouTube and search dybbuk box opening, you will find hundreds of videos of people who are claiming that they are opening demon-filled dybbuk boxes that they bought on the dark web or found somewhere. It's very strange. Some of them are pretty hokey. There's also a few people that have made movies that are so-called documentaries, with like paintings falling off the wall and light bulbs smashing around this box, or their versions of the dybbuk box. But this, what we show tonight, is the original, or the dybbuk box that popularized, again, this whole dybbuk box almost phenomenon. There's hundreds of videos of people opening dybbuk boxes on YouTube and all kinds of strange things happening. Are they real? I think most of those are clickbait. You can tell by the titles, dark web, dybbuk box revealed, and all of this kind of crazy stuff. Yeah, Jasmine Emmerich, I may need to pause more during this stream with commentary. I think it's okay to play a couple of minute clip if we're going to be discussing it, and we are. Oh, did it just say policy violation? Yeah. Pause due to streaming violations. Oh, I did say fair use. I don't know. We'll see what happens. My channel's not monetized, so I really, if they care, if they take this down, I'll pull it down and edit those clips out of it and put it back up, I suppose. But we're going to go to the live chat. No, Jasmine, Jasmine's telling me that the stream was paused due to streaming violations. That is weird because other people play, a few minute clips of videos. It may have something to do with that. That last clip we played was from a very large, let's just call it a media entity, or I think it's a television station or television channel, cable channel. But like I said, I'm not going to worry too much about, my whole show went black for policy violations. Great. Okay, the Dybbuk box. So we want to go back to Vegas to see it, but I read he keeps it locked in the basement behind glass, not on display. Yeah, I believe that the one that he has on display is a recreation. So it's just like somebody made a model that looks exactly like the original and put it in a glass box. That, I believe, is what you see when you go to Vegas to see this thing. Still waiting on that wrench, Stephen. Yeah, I'll get. Let me get over to Twitter, or let me get over to the actual live chat, and then I can do that. 1 second, friends. Can we give Jonaside her? Yeah, that's weird, man. I've never seen somebody stream blacked out from a policy violation. Leave it to me to find something to do that with, right? All right, this is already muted. Jonaside, you are a moderator now. Sixes Design, you are a moderator now. The Veltman, you are a moderator now. Everybody gets a wrench. That's how it works here. As long as everybody behaves, everybody gets a wrench. And I was trying to find... Oh, I don't have a wrench. Sarah Peterson, you do now. There you go. Shouldn't you be like smacking your husband around, Sarah, because he's spending all his time going kayaking? I saw a bunch of his posts. That was good. Let me see. Did I get everyone? I saw Jiggy in the chat. I don't think I gave him. Dan Hogan. There you go. He gets a wrench. Pix, you get a wrench. There we go. Everybody's getting a wrench today. Sorry I haven't done this sooner, friends, but it's kind of hard to be jumping around so much. Trying to do the show, so I think I got everybody. I can go back and. So, what do you guys think of this Dybbuk box story? And do you think that the story is true? I think it's a great story. Sixes Design says, I used to work in an antique shop. A lot of creepy stuff come through there. To sell, though, you needed to know its history. Otherwise, most buyers would turn away. Yeah, they're buying this story like, oh, we found this in an old barn that was being torn down, or, people are very attached to the story. When I meet somebody that has a lot of antiques in their home, they've got a story for every one of the antiques, either how they acquired it or its history, where it came from, who made it. That's part of the allure of antiques, I suppose, is the history. We're talking about the wrenches. Lee Veltman, oh no, wrench power. Oh, yeah, here you go. This is why. And this is Nicholas. Nicholas says, certain media outlets have marks that can cause a ban. Well, I don't know if the video is going to get banned. It looks like it's up right now, and we're streaming. And we're definitely streaming on YouTube as well, or on YouTube and Facebook as well. So Pixley, I think this stream needs dildos and not wrenches. Yeah. Out of Mind Jeanette is an awesome mod. Super V Fun Cat. I have many antiques and some incredible rare pieces that creep people out. You know, I don't have many antiques, but I do have a lot of old books, super old books. Dark Ravens, watch your emails. They will explain the pause. You know, if they want to pause it, you know, this is fair use. I'm not going to go on a tirade here, but like if I'm playing a 3-minute clip and then talking about this story for an hour, and we have people in the live chat commenting while we're watching the clip, that's fair use to me. But you know, YouTube they're going to do what they're going to do, and that's fine. Like I said, if I have to, I'll pull this video down tomorrow, cut cut those videos out and just tell the story of what those videos were about, or, you know. Yeah, everybody seems to be talking about this. Baby Q is back, right? That guy is a douchebag. Just listening to that guy talk, it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. That guy's just some arrogant weirdo. I think he's mentally deranged. But I do think it's funny that he's fighting with some of the other dumbasses, like, I don't even want to name them. You guys know. There's a bit of a loophole for live streams. Yeah. Oh, wow. He said there's a bit of a loophole for live streams. Yeah, I guess they just pause it. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I've never seen that happen, and I've seen other streamers playing somebody else's video for a few minutes. You know, maybe I should be stopping every minute or so to comment, just so that everybody's on the same page. It's fair use, fair use, fair use. So if anybody from YouTube is reviewing this video, fair use. That was fair use. You guys shouldn't be messing with us here. We're trying to do a good thing, and this is a transformative work. We're discussing this story of the Dybbuk box with my friends in the live chat who are also commenting. It is what it is, folks. Oh, Lee Veltman, Q and Pizzagate got a reboot. And, you know, I'm sick of both of those stories. So, I don't know. David Bucky, I believe you did get a wrench. I can go back to the live chat. David Bucky, let me go back over here and try to get you a wrench. There we go. You get back down here. David Bucky. David Bucky, you got a wrench. Make sure you only abuse it a little. Okay, still talking about this issue with the stream. Nicholas says, if you're streaming live, any clips played longer than a minute tend to be flagged. Just pausing the video usually stops it from happening. Yeah, I'll do that in the future. I'll keep a stopwatch. I don't know. Brad Gray is wrench worthy. Yeah, let's go back over here. If we can find him. Brad Gray, say something so I don't have to search through. Oh, here we go. Brad Gray, you get a wrench. There you go. Everybody gets a wrench today. Jeanette, where's Jeanette? I got to find Jeanette. There we go. Jeanette, you get a wrench for sure. Okay. Austin Seibert is a loon. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%, Pix. That guy is a little kooky and a little crazy. And I don't know. Like, I don't even understand it. So he's like claiming that he's Q. And he got The whole arrested for basically sending people to harass a company he didn't like. Uh, but like most grifters, now he's coming out of it, talking about he was targeted by the corrupt FBI. I don't believe that. I believe that he committed a crime live on the internet, telling hundreds, thousands of people to go call and harass a company that he did not like. So, yeah, he probably deserved to get arrested. Initially, he was told that he couldn't use the internet. That was apparently overturned, and now he's back doing a bunch of crap and making a documentary with Roger Ramsour, who was previously the business manager and partner of sorts to Corey Good. So it appears that Mr. Roger Ramsour has found a new LARPer to make money off of. Okay, and gee, I guess I should update everybody on the David Wilcock's Box of Dildos challenge. I have buried a big box of dildos somewhere in the world for David Wilcock to find with his psychic powers, his alien friends, his super friends, his super soldier friends, his, Earth's galactic ambassador friends that have access to all this alien technology. All he has to do is find this huge box of dildos that I buried for him. And yes, I did include the anal lube that I promised, and the anal beads, and a ball gag, and a strap on for David Wilcock's wife. That's in the big box. If he finds the big box that I personally buried, I will donate $10,000 to the charity of his choice. Now, in addition to that, all over the world, friends, people are burying dildos for David Wilcock. We've got somebody in England. I had somebody in Japan. I have somebody in Australia, a few places in Europe, and one in South America, and two in Canada. Friends, all over the world, people are burying dildos for David Wilcock to find. If you want to bury a dildo for David Wilcock, you have to email me at truthseekershow, TruthSeekershow @gmail. I'll give you a David Wilcock Box of Dildos Challenge super secret code. You write it on a piece of paper and put it in your dildo box when you bury your dildo for David Wilcock. This way, when David Wilcock finds your dildo, if he ever finds any of these dildos, he can contact me with the super secret code, and for every one of my viewers' dildos that he finds, I will donate $5 to his charity. And my very generous listeners and viewers are going to let him keep the dildo. And a few people, I got to tell you, have been very generous. There's someone over in England. There's pictures on my Twitter. They sent me pictures of their dildo. They threw in some anal beads just for you, David Wilcock. And you get to keep the dildo, the anal beads, and $5 to your favorite charity. It's a great deal. Now, do I think David Wilcock's going to find any of these dildos that people are burying for him all over the world with his super psychic powers and his alien super friends? No, friends. He's not going to find shit. And that's just proof that his psychic powers are bullshit, and so is he. Yeah, William Pixley. But wait, there's more. By the way, it's not $10,000, David Wilcock, because a viewer of the show has offered to kick in an additional $1,000 if you find the big box of dildos that I buried. Somewhere in the world, there's a huge box of dildos waiting for you, David Wilcock. And if you find that box of dildos, you get to keep the dildos. You get to keep the anal beads. You get to keep the 3 tubes of premium anal lube. Only the best for David Wilcock. We got you. David, I got you the best anal lube that money could buy and put it in this huge box. You get the anal lube and you get the strap-on for your wife. And you don't get $10,000. You get $11,000 donated to your favorite charity if you find the big, huge box of dildos in our Box of Dildos challenge. It's a great deal just for you, David Wilcock. Find those dildos. Can anyone see my message? Yes, sagittarically speaking, I can see your message, and it's up on the screen now. You should be able to see it. David Bucky. David Bucky says, what a value. Yeah, what a value. This is a great prize for you. David Wilcock, you're going to get this huge box of dildos. You're going to get the little dildos, big dildos, black dildos, white dildos. I put some alien dildos, octopus dildos, all kinds. I gave David Wilcock a huge assortment of wonderful dildos that he's sure to enjoy. All he has to do is use his super secret powers, his alien super friends, his government insiders, and find that box of dildos. He's going to get to keep the whole box. He's going to get $11,000 if he finds my viewers small single buried dildos. Hey, man, it's a tough economy, David Wilcock, and we here want to help you out. It's such a tough economy. I know that you might be a little strapped for cash, so just use your psychic powers, David Wilcock, and find my viewers boxes of dildos. There's a few in England. There's some in Australia, Japan, Europe, Canada, South America, and there's, I don't know, 5 or 6 already being buried across the United States just for you. Okay, just checking. I was asking for a wrench. I love that you're trolling David Wilcock. Yes, I'll get when I go back to the chat on my other screen here, I will give you that. Six's Design says his wife might be more interested in the strap-ons than he is of having them being used on them. Oh man. Jasmine. Lee Veltman, 5-headed dildo showcock with Ascension vibes, only $333. Yes, Dan Hogan asks, does the Wilcock Foundation count as a charity of his choice? Of course. If I'm going to give, do you think he's going to give that money to charity? He's his own favorite charity. He made his own charity. And what does his charity do? His charity makes videos filled with lies that are being put on a monetized YouTube channel after he used the money from the Wilcock Foundation to buy himself, I believe it's $29,000 worth of equipment to do those videos. Crazy. Boy, if David Wilcock won't be able to sit right for a month, lucky guy if he only had psychic powers. Oh, Super V Fun Cat. David is definitely the bottom in that relationship, no doubt. Yeah, David Wilcock. It's not just me who thinks it. Look there, Super V Fun Cat, right there. She's telling you that you are the bottom in that relationship. I agree with that. You're a catcher, bro. You're not a pitcher. Oh, okay. Sagittarily speaking, I saw the box on Twitter. There are super exotic varieties to choose from. I bet it's buried in the 100-acre wood. No comment. I won't be commenting on anybody's guesses about where the box is buried. I don't want to give him, he's supposed to use his psychic powers. Back to these dibbuk box. I just thought that story was always interesting. I'm sorry you got flagged for whatever we got flagged for tonight, but I wanted to bring you the story. Whatever you have to do to keep the video whole, we'll figure it out later. It's just interesting to me that we have Jewish mythology that sort of aligns with Catholic mythology about possessing spirits. But then this sort of dibbuk box story is kind of like one of those strange stories because it doesn't really align with the original intent of the dibbuk as a possessing spirit. In the dibbuk box story, it's sort of a mischievous, evil spirit that's bound to the box somehow. Phil Blair, do people put the O's in G? I was unaware of this. Yes, we're burying dildos, Phil Blair, all over the world. People are contacting me to take part in the David Wilcock Box of Dildos Challenge and bury their own dildo in a box for David Wilcock to find. So it's kind of like geocaching. Yeah. Spooky evening. Hey there, Spooky. I don't think I've seen you here before. Oh, Jonaside says, sounds like the jinn. Yeah, I want to do a separate show on the jinn. I've always been interested in the jinn, especially in the Islamic stories and mythology of the jinn. There's a lot of interesting stuff in the Quran about the jinn. And the jinn are not really mentioned, not by the name jinn in the Bible. Generally, they say demons in the Bible, not jinn. Wow, you're up early. Aloha, spooky. Jessica, power bottom. Oh, let's see. Leave Elton. Assassins and the jinn are interesting in Sunni beliefs. Yes, I believe that you are right. I'm going to go back to this and give. Here you go, spooky. You get a wrench. Moderator, you are a wrench. Okay, let's get back to the live chat. Okay, are you, Super V Fun Cat asks, are you still doing a one-on-one with Sarah? Yes, absolutely. Things got delayed because, well, a lot of different things. Honestly, I understand that she kind of wants to present herself and, like, hey, well, you have to talk to this. So she wants me to talk to her manager, somebody else she works with first. And then she's doing sessions, 3 different sessions for someone who is, that I connected her with, someone who is terminally ill. So I've given her some time to kind of do those sessions. She did one on Friday. I'm not sure if she's done the second one yet, but I think she has, and maybe there's one left to go. So this terminally ill person that she's working on with her, I don't know, psychic healing powers is going to come back to us as well and report on their experience going through these, sessions with Sarah Adams. And we're going to continue with the strange case of Sarah Adams. I also have had 2 additional sessions myself with her that we're going to have to unpack. This strange case of Sarah Adams just gets stranger and stranger. And I promise I'm going to return and at least do a part 2, which would just be me explaining the other 2 sessions this week, hopefully. Supernatural creatures in early pre-Islamic Arabian and later Islamic mythology and theology. Yes, that is the jinn. And interesting stories they are. Draco Mole hybrid scientists conducting soil samples in 150 years never knew what hit him. Okay. Dark Ravens. She wants to go through the proper channels. Phil Blair, I just watched a video on the history of the Roman Catholic Church's attitudes towards the Jewish community. It's a great channel, but I forgot the name because it's a Hebrew word. Well, you're no help, Phil Blair. Hey, I just saw this great thing, but I can't tell you what it is. Thanks, Philip. I have to go looking for that. Cooper is here in the live chat. Shout out to Cooper. I'm not sure that I have seen you here before. So, friends, we are going to take a short break and we're going to open the phone lines. We're going to try that again. And by the way, I believe that I figured out what the problem was last time with the phone line system. It was dumping right to voicemail. I think we have that figured out. I think that we have that problem resolved. So, friends, we're going to open the phone line and you can call me and we can talk about anything you like. You can comment on the dibbuk story that we did tonight. You can comment on the David Wilcock Box of Dildos Challenge. By the way, please, if anybody tweets about that or posts anything on social media, please be sure to hashtag it, David Wilcock Dildo Seeker. This way, if anybody wants to know what's going on with David Wilcock finding those dildos, there'll be an easy way to do it. You just put the hashtag in Twitter or Facebook, and you'll be able to find the posts all about David Wilcock's inability to find these simple boxes of dildos buried all over the world for him. So, friends, we're going to open the phone line. Remember, we can talk about anything you like. You can call me and tell me your supernatural story or some paranormal story, experience that you had. You can comment on tonight's show, or you can ask me anything. So without further ado, friends, let's open up the phone lines. Let's do it. And there we are, friends. So our phone lines are open. I'm going to turn my attention once again to the live chat. If you have questions or comments, please put them in all caps. If they're, questions or comments for me specifically, or that you want to share with the rest of the audience, put them in all caps. Makes them easier for me to see and know, therefore, to share. And here we have Robin Eaglesong is here. Shout out to Robin Eaglesong. I don't believe that I have seen you here before. Nice to see you. Okay. And here we have the live chat, the live call-in number, in case anybody would like to call in. You're free to do that. I'm getting messages here that I got stream sniped by YouTube. Yes. Well, at least it's still on it's still going to be on the Facebook, and I can grab it and cut it up, or we'll fix that. Oh, Dan Hogan. Can I call in and be fake David Wilcock from the future? Yeah, just like the Art Bell Show. Absolutely. Robin Eaglesong says, thanks. Absolutely. Good to see you here. Always good to see you. What about Sarah Pearson? What about international calls, Truthseekers? I'm not sure. It's a Google voice number. I think it works internationally. I know it works anywhere in the United States, the continental United States. I don't believe we've gotten an international caller yet. Actually, we may have. You can give it a try, Sarah Pearson. I'd like to hear from you. Phil Blair, pew, pew, pew. Oh, boy. Phil Blair, he wants to come back. Michael Horn wants to come back, but he's got all these rules. Like, if I say something, I have to be able to instantly show him the backup research for why I say a photo is fake or whatever, so that he can argue with me, I guess. Is it an iPhone? No, Spooky. It's just it's an Android phone, and the Google voice number is forwarded to this sort of burner cell phone that I have just for the show. United States is country code 1 there, Super Me Fun Cat. She's asking about what country code it is. Yeah, so, if we have any questions or comments, please let me know. I'm also, Dan Hogan is here. Dan, I'm working on those EVPs. I'm going to work on them tomorrow. And Dan Hogan sent me a whole bunch of files where he was doing EVP sessions, and then he sort of timestamped and identified where he thought the anomalies were. Um, I have a big background. I ran a studio in audio editing, so I'm going to pull those files up and we're going to maximize the volume, compress them, filter them so that we can hear whatever's going on a little better. And then we're going to do a show all about EVPs with Dan Hogan. Yeah, people were asking about the international number. UK is plus 44. No idea, Sarah Pearson. Sorry. I'm not really sure what that would be. I'm not sure that we've had international callers. I know it works in the United States. Super V Funcat says 11267. I think that might work. I'm not sure. Yeah, no idea. I don't do a lot of international calling. And then I think even my cell phone plan, it's like extra. Even to call Canada, which doesn't make sense to me. It means it should be free or should be included, right? Especially Canada or England. So, tonight's show's on this dibbuk box. I thought we would do something a little different. That's why I want to start covering a lot of different subjects. We might do a show on the jinn, on Roman Catholic rite of exorcism. We've got the EVP show coming up. The strange case of Sarah Adams is getting stranger and stranger, folks, and we're going to continue with that very soon. So I'm not sure. Yeah, Dark Ravens, Sarah, he believes you just dial 1-267-482-0612 and you should get through. Not sure if it works. Let us know, please, in the live chat if you try it and you cannot get through. William Pixley, tell us some about Sarah Adams. Well, Pix, I have done a second and a third session with her, and my opinions have sort of pretty drastically shifted based on those last two sessions. And then just digging into the background, trying to find background information where I found a treasure trove of videos that she's made, some as old as 8 or 10 years ago, which I don't think helped her credibility now with her current claims very much. But we're going to be unpacking that all in a future show. Paranormal Jiggy, I got something you're going to like. I can imagine it's green. Lee Veltman, maybe? Lee Veltman. I've known Sarah for about 3 years since Max passed. The stuff with Leo Zagami and Douglas Dietrich is pretty nutty information. Yeah, I agree with you, Lee. And I think that it doesn't help her current claims. Always want to say, like, pick a lane. A perfect example that I can always cite is Bob Dean. He came out, pretty convincing story. He saw this special report while he was working for NATO called The Assessment. It was all about aliens and UFOs visiting us. And boy, what a great story. But then he made the rounds of the UFO community for a while, and people were getting sick of that story, I guess. So then he came up with new stories about his psychic powers and his past lives. And it just got, weirder and weirder. And I think that's a lot of what we're going to find with Miss Adams, that things are just going to get weirder and weirder. Still think she is legit. I have an incredible amount of doubts that either her claims are true or her psychic powers are real. So-called psychic powers. Alleged psychic powers, alleged healing powers are real. And I've talked about some of the problems that I have with some of her claims, specifically that she can upgrade and repair people's DNA. Kind of hard to prove that. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I think this whole life phone call-in thing, it is what it is. It seems like sometimes there's 8 people will call in on one show, and sometimes nobody calls in, and that's okay. If we just want to hang out in the live chat. Philip Blair, afraid of sharks, Super V Fun Cat. Yeah. I think most people are afraid of sharks, and rightly they should be, right? I'm afraid of sharks. I don't know about anybody else. My wife, she made me, on our honeymoon, she made me go swimming with the sharks, which you would think is be some kind of like supervised, very safe sort of outing in the Bahamas. They have these people and they'll take you and you can swim with these sharks. Friends, here's what they do. They get you on a boat, they take you out, they drop this cage full of meat. And then all these sharks come, and then you just jump out of the boat and you hold on to a rope and you have goggles so you can see. And people are like, when they saw the sharks swimming towards us, people started splashing and screaming and shit. And I remembered Jaws. I was like, what are you doing? We're going to get killed here. And a big shark bigger than me, and I'm 6'4", like swam and banged into my shoulder and swam right by me and my wife. And I think she was trying to kill me, taking me to swim with sharks. But you know what? I did it. It was an experience. Never going to do it again. Super Fun Cats. Now we're trying this. It's 01. Oh, there we go.
Accept, press 1. To send a
Okay.
voicemail, press.
Hello, this is Steven. You're calling Truthseekers. Who are you and where are you calling from?
I got a large pepperoni pizza with extra cheese, please.
Really? Who is this?
It's Jiggy, man. I just called in and say hello, brother.
Oh, how you doing, Jiggy?
I'm doing good. I'm just calling and message with you a little bit. I had to do it at least once.
Jiggy's calling me to order a pizza, smart ass. Yo, for a second I was like, maybe somebody just dialed the wrong number and there is a pizza place, right? I don't know.
Now, that's the mess with you. I want to be honest with you, sir. I hope David Wilcock never finds and bought the dildos, because I can imagine what he will do with them.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned. I think he's going to have dildo overload, especially if he finds my big box. How are you feeling,
Oh,
Jiggy?
yeah.
Are you feeling pretty good?
How am I feeling?
Yeah, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good, brother. Still healing up, but I'm much better than I was.
Good for you, brother. Good for you. Yeah, I've been thinking about you every day. Like, there's a lot of people that are, I don't know. It seems like a lot of crap hit at once, man. We have the Rona, other stuff going on.
Yeah. Eventually, I'll tell the whole story. I don't think not too many people really know what's been going on with me, but I'll tell the whole story still. So.
Oh yeah, and I don't want to get too personal. That's your story to tell. But I've just been thinking about you and hoping that you're doing well and feeling better, and sending you good vibes.
Yeah, I just want to let you know that we appreciate you, brother. We appreciate the work you do. Keep putting up the good work. Keep fighting the good fight.
All right, thanks, Jiggy. You get some rest, Rockstar.
Yeah, I'm gonna call in one day a week and really, really chat it up about whatever's going on. But yeah, right now, just
Okay, awesome.
All right, brother.
All right, you have a good night. Bye-bye.
Also,
And that was Jiggy from Paranormal Hood. And why am I so... Oh, I was all cloudy. That's weird. Now it kind of cleared up. Yeah, so, Jiggy's been going through some health issues, and I've been thinking about him every day because, we kind of have we've had similar brain-related problems in the past. Oh, here we go. Let's go to the phone. Oh, 1 second. Got to accept the call. Hi, this is Steven, and you're calling Truthseekers. Who's this?
Hey,
Hey, Stephen. It's Sarah Pearson.
Oh, there you go with your lovely English accent. My friends from across the pond. How you doing, Sarah?
I'm good, and you?
Good, good. How are things in England? Is the Rona stuff still crazy, or are you guys sort of leveling out?
I'm having trouble hearing you. Can you repeat that?
Oh, I said, how is stuff in England with the Corona stuff? Is it kind of calming down now, or is it settling off, or is it still crazy?
It's coming off. We're just coming out of the total lockdown, but yeah, it's still about. So we're still being quite cautious. Mika's not going back to school until he starts secondary, but yeah, we're doing as best we can.
Yeah, I hear you. Our lockdown is pretty much slowly ending. They sort of opened up a little bit, and now it's getting to be more of a full. I don't know. They have the color codes. So my wife's going back to work next week to the office.
Yeah, we're still waiting to hear about Jim's job. We still don't know whether he's still got his job or not. So
Yeah, a lot of people in the same situation. I went from a pretty decent business to nothing, like no income. I think we're at 80 days, but I got $1,200. So somehow that's supposed to make up for 80 days of no income.
wow, we're quite lucky that our government has actually helped all the furloughed people that are out of work at the moment.
Yeah, most of the civilized countries are giving their people free paychecks or, financial assistance until they can go back to real, meaningful work full time, right?
Yeah, they're paying 80% of the wages, and then the company that you work for are paying the rest. So thankfully we are getting some kind of income, because obviously I can't work. So
Yeah, I mean, it was just a bad situation for me. Like every skill that I have that's marketable, I can't really do right now. So I'm trying to wait it out, find other things.
Very hard.
Yeah.
Very hard. I just seen in the chat, super free fun cat. Yeah, it was the 001. Yeah, you were correct.
Okay, so thank you for helping us out. So now I can put a separate line at the bottom for international calls, call, or something like that. We'll work that out.
Absolutely, yeah, 001 and then the number.
Nice. It's nice to know that people can. So you heard it here first, folks. Anywhere in the world, I believe, you can call us live on Truthseekers.
First international caller.
And Sarah is the first international caller, so I'll have a special prize for her. And it won't be a dildo. It'll be something nice just for you.
Awesome, seeing as David Wilcock has got one from us.
Yeah. Sarah is one of the people taking part in the David Wilcock Box of Dildos Challenge. One of the first, or the first international member of the Dildo Helpers. These are people helping me bury dildos for David Wilcock all over the world. Sarah is one of them. Somewhere in England, David Wilcock, Sarah has buried a special dildo for you.
And anal beads.
And anal. She threw in anal beads, David Wilcock. What a generous girl.
He's a lucky man.
Yeah.
He's a lucky man.
He is a lucky guy.
Okay. Thank you so much for taking my call, Steve.
Absolutely. It's great to hear from you. Say hi to your husband and your son for me.
Sorry?
Say hi to your husband and your son for me.
I will do. It's 4 a.m. here, so there.
Oh, well, wait till tomorrow. Then tell them I said hello. Thanks for calling.
Take care. Lots of love, everyone.
All right. Thanks for being a helper with the dildo challenge, too. I appreciate it immensely.
Oh, you're very welcome. It had to be done.
Had to be done. You have a good night, Sarah.
And you. Take
All
care.
right. Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Our first international dildo helper, straight from England, right? Oh, here we go. We're going to have another caller here.
To accept, press 1.
Hello, this is Steven. You're calling Truthseekers. Who's this?
Hello, this is Sagittarius speaking.
Hey, there you go. You're new here, I think, right? I don't think I've seen you in the chat before, have I?
Well, last time I called, I was talking about Bobby Mackey, remember?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so just a different user ID. So you have been here before. Nice to see you back.
They're the same names. I just go by Sachi, though.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, good to see you back.
Yeah, no problem.
So did you have a question or comment for us?
Yeah, actually, I was curious. I'm sure you're probably familiar with the movie Antrim.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit.
It's got a neat lore around it. Apparently, it's a 1970s like snuff film, for lack of a better word. I guess when it was sent back in, I'm not sure about the exact dates, but it's responsible supposedly or allegedly for approximately at least 60 deaths. It's the movie that you will die. The real, like the movie.
Yeah, like The Ring, right? But it's the real version.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, I said it's like The Ring, but the real version. Like this is where that story came from.
Yeah, and the actual movie has something to do with a boy and his mom going out in the woods to bury their dog or something along those lines, and somehow there's some type of curse involved in the movie. They end up. It's got some type of satanic undertone. I'm not really sure. I've never seen the movie, but
it's worth me looking into that, though. That's a great subject to look into for a future show.
Yeah, for sure. That's one reason why I was bringing it up. I was making sure you hadn't already covered it.
Yeah, no, I haven't already covered it, but I'm going to put it on my list. That sounds like a great rabbit hole to me because I have heard of this story of this snuff film, weird movie, and if you watch it, you'll die. And people later made movies about a film that if you watch it, you'll die, that were based on this supposedly true story. So it's a great thing to look into. Great rabbit hole to go
one
down.
of the most notable details is the theater, a packed theater, and I think it was Los Angeles, caught on fire, and everybody there watching the movie died on the opening night.
Oh, this is a great story. Yeah, I got to look into this one.
20 or 30 years, and then it's just kind of people found random footage of it and put it back together.
Wow. Yeah, and Cooper says there's a sigil placed within the video like 100+ times.
But other than that, I'm just really enjoying your new platform.
Thank you. Yeah, me too.
Support, and you're doing a great job. I'm really enjoying your work. I'm so glad that you found your way out to the cabin and everything's working out for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for your great comments. I appreciate that.
No problem.
All right. Well, you have a good night.
All right, you too.
All right, bye-bye. Yeah, so, this people ask me occasionally, like, how do I come up with ideas for shows? It's just stuff like that. Like, that's a great subject. Now I have to look into that story and we'll see, because that sounds like a great story to me. A movie where if you watch it, you'll die. And I've heard of that story before, but it was kind of like on the early internet. It was on a website. The Ring. Oh, it's Six's Design. The Ring, really creepy movie, good flick. Yeah, I really like The Ring. And The Ring is funny. Creepy children, right? The Ring started the whole creepy children in horror movies. After The Ring, there was a bunch of horror movies where it was like the scary thing in the movie was a creepy kid. I love those creepy kid movies. Somebody said, way to go, Sarah Pearson. Phil Blair. That's exactly why I never go to the theater in Los Angeles. That, and I've never been there. Yeah. I don't know, but that's pretty scary if a whole movie theater caught on fire while people are watching this crazy movie. So, we've got a bunch of more shows coming up. I'm even going to try to do like a couple of short shows that are just going to be like information dumps, and I'm going to try to do those during the day. I really would like to start to increase output very much, because the way that YouTube algorithm works is like, You got to keep going. Hi, remember this new channel I'm starting? Here's another video. Here's another video. Here's another video. So, and that's been difficult to do. I meant to do shows from the cabin, but those kids wiped me out and 7 tons of gravel. I had to spread by hand with a shovel and a rake and a broken down. It's not even a wheelbarrow. It's like a plastic garden cart that's not meant for all that weight. So I've been spreading all this. I spread 7 tons of gravel. I'm almost done. And then I'm at the lake with the kids like all day. My kids will go there all day and, doing different stuff around the cabin. So by the time I finally got the kids down, I was just done. I was like, I can't do it. Tonight I almost bailed too because just Mondays are rough. It's a long day with 10 hours with 2 children. I don't recommend that for good creative output. Doing 10 hours with children before you decide to do something else. Remember, it was VCR tape, Betamax. I don't remember. Yeah, I believe that story of that movie, it's a videotape. It's a VHS tape. And you watch it, and then bad things happen. And I'm kind of like, does that mean I want to watch this? I would sort of have to watch it to do a show about it. Yeah. Crazy, crazy stories. The Dybbuk box is one of those crazy, crazy stories. And actually, it was this Rachel E. Hoffman doing a show on ghosts that just reminded me, like, oh, what are my favorite? I don't know if I guess it would be a ghost story, this Dybbuk box. It's one of my favorite stories about ghosts or demons because just the possibility that a demon or a ghost could haunt a box. It's just interesting to me. What is it about the box? And I've heard various other parts of this Dybbuk box story where I think it might have been from the movie The Possession, where they sort of I don't know if they fictionalized it or they added to the story, if this part is true, but I've heard other parts of the story where this Jewish woman created the Dybbuk for revenge against something that happened, I guess maybe during World War II, and put the vengeful spirit in this box. I don't know if that's true. Okay, here we go. Sagittarically speaking, the movie is called Antrim. Now we're all going to look it up, and hopefully, Sagittarically speaking, hopefully my whole audience doesn't die watching this movie because we need an audience here to continue. Yeah, friends. So I think we may start to wrap things up here. If you have any additional comments or questions, please put them in the live chat. Otherwise, we are going to call it a night. It has been a long day here with my 2 children, and I made dinner, and I got a shower. Hey, do not underestimate small accomplishments when you have 2 children. Getting a shower when you have children is an event. Like, oh, thank God, I remembered to do that today. Jeanette Krasinko. I have a friend who has a channel where he goes and does investigations. Yeah, hook me up with him, Jeanette. We might want to have him as a guest. That would be great. Okay, Philip Blair. Is there a lake monster or a banned summer camp? Truthseekers. No, there's no lake monster that I've found so far. There are reports of Sasquatches around the cabin, but I think that may be the bears. The bears are out in full force this year at the cabin. I've seen a bear every time I'm there, and that's a little concerning with children, but it seems like they hang around for a little while and then they sort of migrate. So we should be at the tail end of our we should be at the tail end of bear season at the cabin. They should be sort of trailing off, going somewhere else in their migration pattern. It seems like every year for a few weeks we see them. This year we've seen them a lot more because there's no dumpsters in the restaurants are closed, and there's a lot less food around, so they're getting a lot more brave. There's Bigfoot sightings and UFO sightings around the cabin, and hopefully we'll have somebody that has seen some come to the cabin and be a guest live. I'm going to be working that out. William Pixley, what about some serious DJ takedown shows? Yeah, I think they're going to be, you know what? People like to hear me spit venom. I've started to realize, I've been thinking about the show and like, okay, what do I need to do to get the numbers up? And honestly, it's very simple. Look at the numbers. If I'm pissed off and spitting venom, the numbers shoot up. If I'm being, just like tonight, just like here's a cool story I like, I might not get very many viewers. Something about people talking shit and spitting venom at people that people love to watch. And who am I to not give my audience what they want? So you want to see me spit venom? I'm an angry young man, and I've got plenty of venom to spit. We're going to get into some of that. I really, when I started, I said, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to, cast a wider net, be a little more inclusive, and not just trash talk people. Some people need it. You need to remind people that they're full of shit, and in order to just have sanity. Like, I can't. Somebody told me, it was a psychiatrist once told me that you should never think one thing and say another. That is a cause of mental problems. In other words, if I think that somebody is full of shit and a fraud and a liar and is ripping people off, I can't sit here on my show and think that about them if somebody mentions them and not say that. I can't do it. I don't have that filter. I don't think it's healthy to have that filter. I think you need to set people straight when they need to be. Let's see. Robin and Jiggy lack wrenches too. Yeah, here, I'll go over there. I got to try to remember, guys. I got to try to find them, and I'm a little vision impaired, so it's difficult. I'm scrolling through the live chat if I can find him. Oh, Paranormal Jiggy. Paranormal Jiggy, you get a wrench. Now, if I could find Robin Eagle Song. Robin, if you're still here, say something so I don't have to scroll through 20 pages of stuff here to get to you. Oh, I got it. I got you. Robin Eagle Song, you get a wrench. Everybody gets a wrench here as long as everybody behaves. That's what we do here. Everybody's included. Everybody is welcome here. William Pixley, let's take that freak down. Oh, here we go. Super V Fun Cat. Can we touch the untouchables like Dolan or Linda Moulton Hale? Doesn't have to be hardcore. Just say the obvious. Yes, Super V Fun Cat. I found some excellent research materials related to Richard Dolan and this deathbed confession video that was made by Jeremy Corbell with Richard Dolan doing the actual interview, and it was given to them by Linda Moulton Hale. And I'm going to spill the beans on what bullshit that is. And, I have some other stuff about the Wilson documents. And, here's something. I'm going to do something here just to tease this. We'll tease the Richard Dolan, the dirt on Dolan. Here's the deal. He's got like a shtick, and his shtick is I'm Richard Dolan. I write books. I'm a serious researcher. I have a degree in history, and for UFOs, I worked on Cold War history. Come on, man. Come on. Super V's in on this thread. I'm trying to find the Twitter thread because something pissed me off today about Richard Dolan. It's just, I can't help myself sometimes watching the stuff that goes by my Twitter feed. I look at some of this stuff and I go, is he fucking kidding me? Hey, Richard Dolan. Steve Cambion here from Truthseekers. Listen, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? You did this today, you asshole, and you deserve this. And I'm going to give it to you. This is just going to be a little tease on what I'm going to talk about in a future episode called The Dirt on Dolan. Richard Dolan sells UFO bullshit like every other UFO bullshit salesman. The fact that he has a history degree or claims to be a serious researcher doesn't change the fact that he sells UFO bullshit. So let me see if we can do the Chrome tab here. Oh, there we go. I'm going to share this because I think it's important. Look, first of all, Richard Dolan, you asshole, look at this. You're selling a t-shirt that says truth with your mug on it, right? Look at that. There's Richard Dolan. He's going to give you the truth for just $24.95. Looking to buy the Truth t-shirt by Richard Dolan? Here's your chance to get one of the first official Richard Dolan t-shirts. Listen, somebody's got to do me a favor because I'm broke. Somebody's got to buy me this t-shirt so I can wear it when I give the business and spit venom at Richard Dolan for being a UFO fraudster, huckster, asshole like everybody else, selling a Truth t-shirt with your name on it. Look, here we go. I'm just gonna let me stop that. All right, listen. Here's the deal. It's a big club, and I ain't in it. And all these assholes like Linda Moulton Howe, Richard Dolan, Jeremy Corbell, they're all buddies. Jeremy Corbell and Richard Dolan went to do this special interview with this CIA insider that was on his deathbed. And he was going to spill the beans about aliens, bro. And Richard Dolan's sitting there all studious, looking like a college professor interviewing him. The guy was a fraud. Richard Dolan, you're supposed to be a researcher. Did you not vet the guy? Did you not look into his background and find out, like I did, that he worked at a fucking supermarket, you asshole? He worked at a fucking supermarket, you asshole. He didn't work for the CIA, you dumbass. And you're going to sell a t-shirt with truth on it while you're doing that? What about these Wilson documents? Leak of the century. The UFO story of the century. You and your clickbait bullshit selling this nonsense, Richard Dolan. You could suck a dick. You heard it here first. Richard Dolan, you could suck a dick selling a Truth t-shirt, you asshole. What about the Bob Lazar story? You support that because your buddy, Jeremy Corbell, is selling that documentary. Richard Dolan, come on here and debate me on the Bob Lazar story. Come on. Do it. Do it. I dare you. You won't do it because you know the fucking story is fake. Selling your Truth t-shirt, you dumbass. And that's all I really want to say for right now. Like, Richard Dolan is just like every other asshole out there selling UFO bullshit stories. I used to like the guy. I used to respect him. I used to admire him. I used to look up to him. But after 3 or 4 hoaxes that he's running around selling, and he's got a remote viewing wife. Remote view my dick, you dumbasses. It's ridiculous. And he's going to sell a Truth t-shirt. Not to mention, he's got disclosure coffee mugs that you could buy. Look, the commercialization, the fact that this guy's got to sell t-shirts and mugs should tell you the quality, right? The depth and scope of his income potential. He's got to be constantly hawking this shit to survive. God bless you, Richard Dolan. If you want to sell bullshit shirts that say truth on them when you're out there selling lies, I can prove they're lies, Richard Dolan, you dumbass. Don't be selling a Truth t-shirt, you fucking hypocrite. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous that he's doing that. Richard Dolan, I lost all respect. I had just a little bit left for you, right? Just a little bit left for you. And then I saw that shit today. You can suck a dick, Richard Dolan. And you're right. Somebody mentioned these are the untouchables. You can't say this shit. You gotta, toe the line, You got to play nice with the other UFO fraudster, huckster assholes out there selling lies. I don't play nice. If you're selling lies and I know about it, I'll share that with my viewers. That's what we do here. Dolan is up in Rochester, New York. Oh, yeah. And Super V Fun Cat. Dolan called everyone idiots who didn't fully buy the Davis Wilson documents. Yeah, because he was pushing that, selling that hard. And by the way, who was his original source for that? His original source for that, I think it was back in 2008, was Hal Puthoff. Hal Puthoff has been involved in bilking the government out of research money for decades. He was a member of this SRI, Stanford Research Institute, which, by the way, is bullshit, has nothing to do with Stanford, but it sounds good, right? It makes people think we're affiliated with Stanford. It was a bullshit organization started just to scam the government out of money to do so-called psychic research, like remote viewing experiments and other nonsense. Go watch the movie Men Who Stare at Goats. That's pretty much what happened. It's a funny version of what happened, but yeah, this is Richard Dolan's quality sources. Hal Puthoff. I'm sorry, maybe he's a real scientist, but he's been into hooey dooey woo nonsensery and taking money from people like Bigelow or others, the government, to research this stuff. And guess what? He's never gotten the goods. Never Hal Puthoff has gotten the goods. So yeah, Richard Dolan busted everybody's balls. Oh, this is the UFO leak of the century. And then Admiral Wilson came out and said, excuse me, I never went to that meeting. I don't know anything about this. This is made up bullshit. It's not real. Has Richard Dolan talked about that yet? I don't know. I haven't been keeping up, but I think he's doubling down, saying, what a lot of people are saying about the Wilson documents, which is, of course, that he would deny it. Yeah, and there's the link. Rich Super Big Fun Cat. It's got the status. There we go. I met a lot of cool people and idiots at UFO conference. Yeah, USO conference. So cheesy. Makes me feel bad for Dolan. Such crap marketing. Yeah, and him and Linda Moulton Howe have the same social media manager whose only job really is to keep posting buy my shit. That, if you want, listen, I'm going to give you a career advice. Maybe this is what I could do for a new career. If you want to be a social media manager for somebody like Linda Moulton Howe or Richard Dolan, all you have to do is post buy my shit 5 times a day. And you're good. Just keep posting buy my shit, buy my shit, buy my shit. I got to sell my shit. Buy my Richard Dolan shit. Buy my Linda Moulton Howe X-Files bullshit website 5 times a day. And you could get a job working for them. I've met Richard Dolan and Micah, kept his wife in conversation for 2 hours. Yeah, I did see that. And I was happy that at least he was nice to your son. And, they use each other as sources. Yeah, they email each other fake bullshit stories and sources. Sarah Pearson, somebody asked what did they talk about? Tracy and SRI remote viewing stuff cracks me up. It cracks me up too. And originally the Box of Dildos challenge was going to be for remote viewer Tracy Dolan, but I kind of went, that's not a really nice thing to do to some guy's wife, and she doesn't really deserve that. But David Wilcock definitely deserves it. So we switched it because he's got psychic superpowers. So I thought he'd be the better person to do the challenge with. Absolutely. We met them last year. Mika interviewed him. Yeah, I saw that. Was Tracy Dolan at SRI? I didn't think she was old enough. No, but she's buddies with Hal Puthoff, and so is Richard Dolan. If I die now, I have a permanent smile on my face. Good. Oh, listen, the context. Daniel's got to bust my balls and say greetings and salutations, friends. Listen, the context. If you can tell me where I stole that from, opening a show with greetings and salutations, I'll give you a prize. I thought that was a nice, classy way to open a show. Greetings and salutations, friends. Okay. She was at Congress, and I discussed Puthoff and Targ with her. Yeah, at least they're approachable. The thing I have a problem with is the hypocrisy. It's kind of like, well, I'm a serious, like I said, it's a shtick. I'm a serious researcher. I've got a history degree. I'm like a college professor writing all these scholarly articles, scholarly books. But at the same time, I'm selling UFO bullshit. And listen, friends, he's got to know. He's not an unintelligent. He's not stupid. He knows that this shit is fake. Some of it that he's out there huckstering, but he needs content. He's got to keep people interested and people following him. Oh, here's disclosure. It's coming any minute now. Years, friends, we've been waiting for that. So you don't want to hear my adventures in remote viewing. Maybe Jolly Bridge Burner picks. What research on Boyd Bushman did you do? Boyd Bushman is an interesting character because his background checks out. He really did work all the places he said he worked. He's got a few patents and other things. But at the end of his life, he just sort of, I don't know if he made up some stories about aliens and seeing aliens at Area 51 and these top secret bases he was working on. But he just kind of, he was like showing pictures of a doll, an alien doll that you could buy at Walmart and saying they were genuine pictures of aliens that were taken at Area 51. And so he lost a lot of credibility to me. And also, is it David Adair? Maybe? There's a researcher person that does. He created the person I'm thinking of created the documentary From Here to Andromeda. It wasn't David Adair. David Sereda, maybe? That guy did a lot of looking into Boyd Bushman and interviewing him. And that guy is not very trustworthy. He sells them like, I don't know, wands, these wands that are like $300 made out of crystals and copper coils and stuff. They're supposed to do all kinds of things, but they're not backed by any kind of science. And yeah. Paranormal Jiggy says, once you have a social media manager, it's a business. Yeah, I don't know. I tweet like when I'm doing a show, I try to say, oh, tomorrow night we're going to do a show and here's what it's on. Or sometimes I should be better at it. I should be tweeting the old shows to keep people viewing them or getting more views on them. I don't. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't have a social media manager. Me neither. Paranormal Jinky, I was chatting with the Dolans in Phoenix. He asked him about his Truth t-shirt next time you see him, and why does he sell lies if he's got a Truth t-shirt with his face on it? That's a hypocrisy. Oh my God, the hypocrisy. Like, truth. SRI was rebranded to some other entity. Yes, it was. Development I remember. Daniel says, I hear all of your prizes are dildos, Stephen. No, only for David Wilcock. He's the only person getting the free dildos. It's the David Wilcock Box of Dildos Challenge. For my listeners, we're trying to come up with some posters and some other nice stuff that I can mail to people, especially people that are firsts, like the first international caller, the first caller, the first international dildo helper, the first United States dildo helper. We're getting together a list of friends of the show where we can send something nice to. Brad Gray, thanks to Dolan, I don't believe in UFOs anymore. I got to tell you, Brad, that's a large part of my own sort of awakening and why I pivoted to my current hypothesis. Now, that's the context, Phil Blair. My current hypothesis is that there are no aliens and they're never going to be, friends. It's the UFOs, if anything, are top secret government aircraft. Do you have any idea the technology of the drones that they have right now and how far in advance it is of what we know about? Wasn't that something that Mr. Rogers would say? I don't believe I ever heard Mr. No, he didn't open a show like that. Yes, the context is Daniel James. Second prize is anal beads. God, I'm never going to live this dildo challenge down. People are going to be talking to me about dildos for the rest of my run on this show. But you know what? It's okay. It's funny. Phil Blair, your luck. I'm available for low price of $50 an hour plus benefits. Anybody need a social media manager? Phil Blair can't find his lucky hat. Bushman was the deathbed confession guy. No, Boyd. Well, he was one of them. The deathbed confession guy that I'm talking about with Richard Dolan was supposed to have worked for top secret programs, and it turned out that the guy just worked at a supermarket. But that didn't stop Jeremy Corbell and Richard Dolan from running with that story of that insider. Okay. Dolan is a patriotic guy. Maybe somebody got to him and they had to talk. Yeah, he could have been compromised. You never know. Maybe he was getting too close. Good social media managers don't let anyone know you have a social media manager. That's tacky. Yeah, I found out through email somehow. I think it was through Linda Moulton Hale. And I just so happened to have an email from Richard Dolan, and it was the same email address. So I asked, I think it was Linda, like, I don't understand what's going on here. Does this person work for both you and Richard Dolan? And Linda Moulton Hale, told me, yes, she's the social media manager for both me and Richard Dolan. So it's all big club, folks. And I ain't in it. I can tweet 5 times a week. Go check out Truthseekers, and I can put social media manager on my resume. Absolutely. We need numbers here. Oh, Brad Gray, just listen to Richard Dolan's last few interviews. They are just ridiculous. I agree. Truthseekers, somebody was selling something. Jiggy says somebody was selling something which in essence was a Faraday cage, but he kept trying to explain to me that it was something came to him in a dream when I was at UFO Congress last year. Yeah, lots of inventors at UFO conventions for reasons. Stephen, no, we are not alone. No, Pix, we are not alone. I believe that there is intelligent life somewhere in the universe. Do I believe that they're visiting here and that we have alien bodies stashed away somewhere, or flying saucer crash retrieval debris, or flying saucers recovered? No. Go down every alien story rabbit hole, UFO story rabbit hole, you never get to definitive proof. You get tantalizing, this may be true, but you never get to the proof. That's me. I'm the first international caller, and we're the first international David Wilcock dildo seeker helper too. Yes, you are, Sarah, and it's much appreciated. Thank you for being a good friend of the show. Are you calling Stephen Cambion a sellout chill for big dildo? Beware the dildo industrial complex. Pix is saying that was Boyd Bushman. No, Pix. I'm talking about an interview called Deathbed Confession. There's a bunch of interviews called Deathbed Confessions. One of them is Boyd Bushman, and the other one is with this gentleman, I don't recall his name, that Jeremy Corbell is making a documentary about. That's a complete total fraud, who said he worked for all these government projects, and really he worked for a supermarket. Steven sold out the big dildo. He's in the dildo cabal. Thanks, Super V. Yeah, I'm selling out to a dildo company. This is all. It has nothing to do with proving how ridiculous David Wilcock is with his big dildo challenge here. I'm trying to find a dildo sponsor and get paid to sell high quality dildos. Okay, David Bucky, I think UFOs are real, but I have no idea what they are or who is inside them, but I think they exist. I agree with you. It's my personal hypothesis that they are top secret drones mostly. Well, I'm your first off-work caller as I'm in a med ship out past the moon. Yeah, did you find the Stargate, Jiggy? Why don't we'll get it going and you can just Stargate in here and be sitting right next to me, right? Super V Fun Cat, the Dildo Alliance. Oh man, friends. Well, friends, we're quickly approaching 2 hours here, and I thought this was going to be a quick show. And you know what? The story was quick, but the interaction part was not tonight, and that's great. I want the show to be much more interactive. I'd really appreciate it, friends, if you could like, comment, subscribe, and share this video and every one of my videos. We're really trying hard to get to the threshold of 1,000 subscribers, so maybe we can make a few dollars in super chat donations. I thought of some ways around that, which would be to, I don't know, it's complicated. Like I could take PayPal donations and then have a graphic program, and whatever you want to say for your donation, for the PayPal donation, I'll make a quick graphic and put it up on the screen, which would be sort of like a super chat, but until we could do super chats. Otherwise, you could search, that's my name right here, Stephen Cambion up on the screen. You could just search Patreon for Stephen Cambion and give me $1. Yes, friends, for as little as $1, you can help support me, this show, and its continued growth and expansion. Right now, we're broadcasting live on both YouTube and Facebook. I would like to add BitChute and Twitch and a few others, but that's going to cost more money. And I don't know. I think we get like $40 a month or something, and the software to run this show is 25. So to do the upgrade is going to be another 20, so that we could stream to more destinations. That's something I would really like to do. Jeanette Credzenza says use PayPal. Yeah, I'm going to set up, but the PayPal address I have is like Haywire666 or something like that, and I don't want to use that one for this show because I don't know if some Christian people might be offended or get the wrong idea because of the email address. Okay, Sarah Pearson says show has been awesome. Thanks everyone. Yeah, thank you, Sarah. And friends, with that, I think we're going to call it a show. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. Like I said, please like and share. If you know somebody that's into this kind of subjects, send them an email with our show address. Let them know, that we're going to be doing shows a couple nights a week on all these different interesting conspiracy land, UFO, cryptid creatures, ghost stories, demonology. If it's strange, unusual, and interesting, we're going to be covering it here. The best way you can help me right now is to help me spread the word about our show. It seems like it's taking a long time for people from my previous show, the Midnight Hour show, my radio show, to find out that I'm doing this show. It's funny, I just got an email today and somebody said, I had no idea you were back. I thought you were done. No, I'm not done. We're just changing formats. And I got to say, I love this format so much. The interaction, all of the audience participation, the live calling in. It's everything I wanted to do on the radio, but couldn't for one reason or another. Jeanette Crescenzo, have a beautiful night, everyone. Peace out, genocide. Have a beautiful night. Peace out, stay chilly. Night, everyone, and much love. Yes, folks. On that note, oh, wait a minute. Let me get that. I always forget to do that. There we go. Let me get that off the screen, and we're gonna wrap things up here, folks. Tomorrow night, I hate that sometimes I say we're gonna do this show tomorrow night, and then listen, friends, things happen. Get tied up with my kids, have a crazy day. Something's going on with the air conditioner one week. So sometimes I say there's a show tomorrow. I'm not going to say that. I was going to say there's probably some more shows this week. I hope that you will join us. Until next time, folks, I'm Stephen Cambion. Good night.